On Wednesday, the 10th of June, two things happened in Bali that could have a disastrous effect on the island of the gods having any chance of opening up to tourists from Australia and New Zealand this year. Hi, I'm Mr. Steve and welcome to the latest news update from Bali.
Mr. Steve!
Mr. Steve!
So on Wednesday the 10th of June, Balinese woke up to the news that Bali had just had its second highest spike in new confirmed COVID infections. 32 new cases might not sound like a lot, but with minimal testing going on, it's still a significant number. What is even more significant is the fact that 31 of them were infected by local transmission. And without stringent track and trace methods, this could end up spreading far and wide. Now, whether you think the world response to the coronavirus pandemic is overblown or totally unnecessary, it doesn't make any difference to the fact that just about every country in the world has bought into the narrative. Therefore, even though the fatality rate is incredibly low, we have to understand that nothing's going to get back to normal until our governments deem it safe enough to do so. Now, getting back to that Wednesday, COVID update for Bali. 2 of the 32 new confirmed cases were foreigners, which brings me to the second thing that happened on Wednesday, the 10th of June, that could severely impact the future. At 2 p.m, Old Man's Bar in Canggu on the beach reopened with much fanfare from the owners, promising everyone an amazing time, happy hour drinks, 2-for-1 drinks, party games, and asking patrons to tag their friends. Well, the promo certainly worked, with an estimated 400 people plus showing up. 90% of them were foreigners. Zero social distancing, hardly a mask to be seen, and people just getting drunk and having a good time. Now, before you all shout, irresponsible, I can really appreciate the dilemma. When you are a foreigner in an overseas country, like I've been many, many times, you tend to hang out with other travellers and expats who live there. So when you've been cooped up during this pandemic with very little to do, no beach to go on, limited places open, you crave at the chance for some social interaction. However, from the outside looking in, it still is irresponsible of the bar owners to promote the opening in such a way as to attract hundreds of patrons, and then not properly control the numbers on the inside. As you may already know, the police and village leaders turned up in the evening and shut the place down once again. Now, the unfortunate thing with this global pandemic is the complete scaremongering our elected officials have thrust upon us. They based all their draconian responses on the data modelling from the health scientists and the World Health Organization, but absolutely all of it is now proving to be a little bit blown out of any sort of sensible logic. And now we are all paying for this mismanagement. On the flip side, no one really understood the virus at that time, and the original fear was, and still is, that it would cripple economies and people's lives if it was to get out of control. So the fact is, we are in a pandemic. And whether it was a virus that crossed species or simply escaped from a Wuhan lab, it's here and it can be deadly. And for people like me that love to travel as much as possible, the likelihood of that happening in the near future is nada, zero, zilch. Optimistically, I'm looking at May 2021 at best, before I can think of even travelling over to Bali. Certain borders will open before then, but only to selected partner countries, like New Zealand with Australia, Australia and New Zealand with some of the Pacific islands. But if Bali and the rest of Indonesia continues to get community spread with very little testing, then that country won't be on the allowed list for quite some time. So Wednesday the 10th of June was a bit of a double whammy. A little punch in the guts and a slap in the face. So until next time, this is Mr. Steve. Stay safe, stay strong, love to you all.